How you doing,
Hello.
T? How you doing?
Good.
All right. So hold on,
Just to
hold on,
have a better
But
understanding.
pause. Let me ask you a question. Do you know when the Buffalo Soldiers were formed?
Usually around the 1860s during American history, and I do know
No,
that,
wait. Do you know the exact date? Because that's very important.
no, not the exact date, but well,
1866.
okay. Thank you for the information.
Okay. Right.
The Buffalo Soldiers were involved in some raidings and did destroy some native villages that were not involved in the slavery.
Like
Now
who? Oh, wait,
there
pause.
is
Like who? Sir.
the
Do you see what I
Kiowa,
mean?
the Southern
Sir.
Cheyenne,
No,
the
sir. Let me mute you real quick. When I tell you to pause, I don't want you to gish gallop. Gish galloping is when you throw out a bunch of claims in the hopes that I can't respond to them all. You said you mentioning the tribes. We're gonna go one by one. First off, let's start off one by one. And if I look up one of those tribes and find even one owned black slaves, I'm booting you off my show. So make sure, because again, I asked you for specific things, and the fact of the matter is, you criticize the Buffalo Soldiers, and you don't even know when they were formed. That's very important information. So I'm gonna let you talk, but gish galloping is not allowed. Thank you. Now, which tribe, one by one, which tribe didn't own black slaves or turn slaves into slave catchers? Please.
the
Which one?
Navajo.
Oh, whoa. Did you just say the Navajo?
Yes,
Wait, before you say that, Google it.
I'm
This is a
Navajo, sir.
commonly, sir,
I'm
it's a
Navajo, sir.
commonly, sir. Uh, 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 so I'm gonna tell you one
I'm
time.
a
If I look
Navajo,
it
you
up,
son
well,
of a
no,
bitch.
sir. You're not gonna talk crazy to me. You're gonna watch that mouth. So if I look this up, right, and if I find that your people enslaved my people, I'm gonna boot you off my show. Okay? So let's try this because
Okay.
this is how a conversation should actually go. When you make claims, I get to fact check you. Okay? So you say the Navajo never owned black slaves, never turned us into slave catchers, right? Never.
No,
Never,
they were
never.
in the Southwest.
Sir, the Comanche were also in the freaking Southwest, and they definitely enslaved us. I just had a native up here who actually agreed with that. So you saying that they were in the Southwest means nothing. But let's see, the Navajo.
The Navajo
Did the
were
Navajo?
nomadic people who kept to themselves usually.
Sir, don't keep yapping. You made a claim. Let's prove it or disprove it. Why are you so nervous? Stop being nervous. Relax. Just be patient. You said the Navajo never owned black slaves, right?
Yes, check the sources, please, and let me see
No,
them.
no. You said that's your claim, right? Right? Yes or
Yes,
no?
now show me the evidence, please.
Sir, I'm asking you a question. That's your claim, right?
Yes, that is my claim.
So, yes, some evidence suggests that native tribes, including the Navajo, engaged in the practice of holding people in forms of captivity or servitude, right?
Are you sure
They,
they
they,
were
they never had
people
slaves.
of
Hold on,
African?
whoa, and pause. I looked up, I Googled, did the Navajo own black slaves or turn black slaves into slave catchers? These are the results that I got. Now, hold on, don't speak again, because I want to ask you another question. You said you said that there were no native slave owners in the freaking Southwest. Is that your claim?
Yes. No,
Oh,
not. There are some.
no, sir. You just made a claim. You made a claim. Do you see why I keep pausing you? Because these are very, very important claims. You said that there were no native tribes who owned slaves in the Southwest. So if I found one in Texas who owned slaves in the Southwest, will you now admit that you were wrong?
Yes,
Will
I
you?
do admit that. I did admit
Okay.
that I am wrong in that sense, but I'm
Well,
talking
sir,
more.
sir, when you're talking about people's families who were fucking enslaved, do you not think you owe it to me to be a little bit more accurate? Maybe do some kind of research because I just showed you in two ways you were wrong. You said the freaking Navajo never owned slaves. That was bullshit. You said that there were no slave owning tribes in the freaking West. That's also bullshit. I got a whole damn list of them. The freaking UT, the freaking Yurok, the freaking
Did
Navajo,
the Santo
the
Domingo
freaking
Pablo
Comanche.
did it? Santo Domingo Pablo. Look it up. Look it up. Look up Santo Domingo.
Sir, do you see how he's pushing the goalposts? I've already proven two of your claims wrong.
Okay, what about the Santo Domingo people?
Sir.
Please?
What aboutism? Sir, can you understand the reasons why this conversation is kind of going the way it's going? Because you've already made claims. This affects my family. My parts of my family were owned by natives. So you owe it to me and to everyone out there who was enslaved by natives to be accurate. You've already said two things that were inaccurate. So this is on your people to correct the history of your actual crimes against my people. Doing stuff like this is actually anti-blackness. This is why, if you look down in the comment section, you see all these black people like. I mean, let me give you a prime example. Trading Places, TV. You got Neji. You got God, you got Jasmine, skin and freaking Jasmine. You've got actual people who descend from natives, like Art Mancy. Art Mancy, she actually descends from natives. So you owe it to those people to be accurate.
Okay.
Tell the whole truth. My Lord, like why would you come up here knowing that you did not know the information?
Also, it was a black man that led Spaniards to the Pueblo tribes of New Mexico.
Okay.
Look that up. Esteban.
Sir.
That's his name.
This live stream is about Buffalo Soldiers. The point that I'm making as a direct descendant of a Buffalo Soldier, I got my fifth great uncle's letters. It was barely legible because he wasn't very much literate, but he wrote things down.
Amazing.
He wrote things down. And do you know what he said? The reason why they agreed to fight the fucking natives, especially the freaking Comanche?
Yes.
Because in the years leading up to 1860 when the Buffalo Soldiers were actually formed, almost every single native tribe out there were attacking us, taking us as freaking slaves. And then when the freaking 13th Amendment came about, they did not free us. Is there anything I said that is factually inaccurate? I was very careful in what I said. So be very careful in how you answer.
I'm looking at my resources here. You are correct on those factors.
So do you understand that everything the Buffalo Soldiers did, it was partially a response? Because hold on, I want you to see something real quick, right? So you know how people bring up the Comanche all the time, right? The freaking Comanche, how the Buffalo Soldiers attacked the Comanche, right? So I want you to see an actual source. So this is from the University of Texas at Arlington, right? This is and they're mapping ethnic violence from 1821 to 1879. How often do you think the Comanche were known to attack black people, take the slaves, and kill random black slaves just in cold blood? How often do you think that happened before 1866?
Well, considering that the Comanche did have what's it called, traditions that did involve like war times. I'm pretty sure there's a lot, but I'm not Comanche, so I have no say in that.
But the point is, the conversation is about Buffalo Soldiers, so I want all natives to kind of see the point. Right. So let's go over. So if they were born, the Buffalo Soldiers, and mind you, these are only some of the cases. They gave you longitude, latitude, the actual place, the tribe, the victims, the time, date. So there's no question. They even give you the citations. So I want you to see just a handful of cases that we're talking about here. So February 18th, 1839, the Comanche raid on the Coleman farm. The Comanche killed black slaves while attacking that farm. Okay. Slave killed on Walnut Creek, September 1839. That is 27 years before the Buffalo Soldiers were even
Formed.
Formed. Yeah. So a small party of Indians, probably Comanches, kill a slave driving a wagon. Okay.
Okay.
Western attack, October 1st, 1839. The surveying party and family of land speculator John Webster is attacked by Comanches near the headwaters of Bushy Creek in present-day Leander. Webster's wife Dolly, her daughter, and her daughter Virginia, and her son Booker are captured.
Okay.
These are black people, mind you.
Okay. All right.
Slave girl killed, July 4th, 1840. A young female slave owned by William Clompton is killed by Comanches while bringing cattle in from the pasture on Gilead Creek, 12 miles north
Can you
of
slow down?
Austin.
I'm trying to take notes. Hold on, I'm taking notes. Hold on.
Well, you can actually go to this website if you want. I can send you like the link if you want.
No, just list it out. I prefer pen and paper. It helps me.
Okay. Slave girl killed July 4th, 1840.
Slave girl killed July 1840.
July 4th, 1840.
Okay. Thank you.
And a young female slave owned by William Clapton is killed by Comanches while bringing cattle in from the pasture on Gilead Creek, 12 miles north of Austin, near present-day Plagerville. Okay. So this is a very, very common thing with when the Comanches would do their raids. It's something that they were. That this actually passed down from my fifth great uncle. They would usually kill the women. This is one of the reasons why we really did not like them. Two Austin youths killed. January 2nd, 1843, a party of Comanches attacks the Austin farm of Nolan Luckett, killing Luckett's son and a slave boy. Another slave is captured. So usually during these raids, they would kill the slaves who would actually fight back. And then the ones that didn't, they would just take them as slaves and just sell them.
Okay.
One of my followers was sold by the Comanche. This is one of the reasons why I have so many followers who happen to be black natives.
Okay.
So slaves survives Comanche attack. Late December 1857. A slave herding horses is attacked by Comanches near Wesley Creek, roughly 20 miles southwest of Stephenville. Though wounded by 6 arrows, he manages to survive. They attacked him when all he was doing was herding horses. For no reason.
Oh, he was herding horses?
That's it.
Okay. Could you argue the fact that those horses could have belonged to the Comanche people, but they were?
But if you are a black man, but if you know a black man did not steal it from you, why would you attack him?
Well,
if you know slavery was a thing, why attack slave? So again, the question that you're asking is also the question of, well, if you're going to say that, why should the Buffalo Soldiers be discriminated then? If you get to ask that question, why should my Buffalo Soldiers, who were attacking tribes who still had black slaves at that time, some of them did.
Okay, yeah, I know that.
So if that's the case, why don't I get to say the exact same thing? Did Nat Turner and did Dessalines with the Haitian Revolution, did they have to actually pick out which white people? That wasn't the point, right? But let's go down. So the same year the Buffalo Soldiers were formed in 1866, and this is why I said dates are very important, right?
Yes.
The same year they were formed, Comanches attacked settlers, right? Yeah. They killed a black freeman. This man, his name was Ward, W-A-R-D. He went his whole life as a slave, finally got his damn freedom to only be killed by a damn Comanche.
Well, isn't that always all war? And I understand the pain of it.
If that's the case, then guess what? Don't complain about the Buffalo Soldiers then, right?
Yeah.
Right. See, that's the context though. So now you see all that with just one tribe, Just I guarantee you that was the first time you saw any of that, because it's the first time that I saw any of it. Okay. And I'm an expert. So if that was the first time you saw all that, right?
Yes. Thank you for the sources.
How many times do you think the natives took us as slaves, beat us, killed us, didn't care anything about us, and maybe that had a lot to do with what the reason why the Buffalo Soldiers did what they did?
Yeah, that could have been a partial factor.
I'm telling you, it was written down by my fifth great uncle, and on top of it, the person who actually replied, who said that they're actually related to me, their fifth great grandfather said the exact same thing. Two of them, back to back.
All right. Can you post the letters so we can, or those documents, please?
Well, I
I would
can
love
post it.
those.
I can go to ancestry.com and get a screenshot of it. I
Okay,
can.
thank you. All
Yeah.
right.
Because like it is very, very weird though how you can know those tribes, a lot of them that they attacked had slaves, like the Comanche did.
Yeah.
Do you know it's actually a very famous saying about that? You know that, right?
What's the saying?
Do not trust the Comanche. That's a saying that we've had in the black community for centuries now.
Okay. Oh,
And it's because the Comanche were known to be more brutal than some of the white people.
yeah, they were a warrior culture.
Yeah, well, guess what? That's why they got smashed. That's why. It was revenge. You don't do that to people for. Listen, I just showed you so many different attacks and where they were even taking captives, and you think. Do you if anyone did that to the freaking Comanche, they would retaliate, right?
Yeah, of course.
Well, why do you not think that was the reason why we agreed to be Buffalo Soldiers? Can you show me any other time in which we got revenge?
No.
No? Do you not think that since it was the same year in which the natives were supposed to free us and a lot of them didn't, do you think that was a revenge?
Yeah.
And that's why people are being so disingenuous?
Yeah.
And it's also a way to disregard what their tribes did. Because if
Yeah.
you're asking Beyonce to take off a freaking shirt, right, then should I be able to go over to the Cherokee and tell them take down the picture of Cherokee Chief John Ross, who went through the Trail of Tears, but he also had black slaves? I mean, wouldn't that be fair? You telling me to
No,
you
not
telling
really.
Beyonce you telling Beyonce to not wear a shirt, but you're gonna keep up a picture of a Cherokee chief who owned my people. Maybe it's not
I didn't care about the
maybe
Beyonce thing. I didn't care about the
right.
Beyonce t-shirt, really. I was just more or less trying to look to see if you are coming from a source of anger or if you're coming from actual fact.
Well, it's coming from both. It's coming from both
Okay.
because the thing is that the Choctaw to this very day, I'm asking them for original sales records of my people. They said, well, you have copies. I said, it's not about the copies. It's about history.
Okay.
If you sold my people, I'm owed that. I'm not asking you for membership. I'm not asking you for freaking money. If all I'm asking you for is documents with my relatives, you can do
All right.
that. My God.
Okay. But can assure you that the Santo Domingo people did not own slaves, or I could be wrong. Check to see if any of the Pueblo natives of New Mexico owned slaves.
I'm gonna just tell you, man. I'm gonna put it to you like this: when the Houthis did their blockade, they didn't ask, "Hey, which one of you are helping Israel?" They didn't care because that wasn't the point, right? If
Right.
if if you have so many natives doing that old fuck shit, then guess what? It's on site. Because you want to know why? Because y'all didn't go and say, okay, all the Jamaican slaves, y'all go over here. All the Haitian slaves go over here. All the Black Americans, all the West Africans, y'all didn't distinguish between which one of us you would enslave. You didn't have mercy on the women, the children, the men, the freaking disabled. Didn't matter. So why is it that
Okay.
I got to distinguish between y'all when it comes to slaughtering you in freaking retaliation? It makes no sense. You are putting a standard on the people who were slaves.
Did I also notify the fact that in my family history we had no slavery in our family history currently? I looked through every single
Well,
document.
right, but the
The
thing is that do you think that Nat Turner would have cared? You would say, well, I don't own slaves. I don't own slaves. I don't own slaves. So when Nat Turner did his rebellion, do you think Nat Turner said, all right, all you who own slaves, I'm gonna go after you, and all you who didn't, I'm gonna go after you? Do you think that was the point? No, it never was. If one of your people, if there was enough natives where if y'all all got together and says, all right, Cherokee, all right, Choctaw, all right, Chickasaw, all right, Seminole, all right, Comanche, all right, all right, Navajo, all right, all you people, right? if you don't give up these slaves, we're going to have a giant tribal war. Anything short of that, they weren't even speaking up. Nobody was even speaking up. Nobody was even saying anything. The freaking Arapaho didn't freaking say anything. And I know because there's people in my family with the last name Hazard. And Hazard and Arapaho goes almost hand in hand. So I'm just wondering, why is it the standard is always placed on us, even in retaliation? It's just weird, isn't it? It's weird. So I have to pick out the right targets.
Okay.
When I'm mad about slavery, but you don't have to pick out the right targets when you're enslaving us. It's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy.
All right. Well, thank you for the sources, though.
Yeah, you can say, brother.
All right. Thank you for the sources. I'll look
Yeah.
deeper into the thing, and I'll make a educated judgment on the Buffalo Soldiers.
If you can't see the connection between 1860 M6 and the Cherokee.
There's also the fact that America wanted to get rid of natives out of their land, and of course they would have probably used Buffalo Soldiers' anger against slavery to have natives or have Buffalo Soldiers get revenge on the native people.
Well,
It
let
was
me also ask you another question. Did you know that there's current racism within the natives? You know that in 2005 the Cherokee tried to kick us out.
Yes, I do know that.
You know the black Muskogee is in the Supreme Court like right now again.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Again, because the Muskogee is trying to remove the black people again. The Choctaw are doing the exact same thing. This is one of the reasons why I'm speaking out. I should be a rightful member of that nation, and I just choose not to because I have a grudge. They won't even hand over the paperwork. Why in the world do I want to be part of your fucking nation? Like you're showing me from the very
content.
The reason why my fifth great uncle did what he did was because I did have the grip. It was because of the Choctaw that he was so mad at all natives. So yeah, I do qualify. If you have somebody that's willing to take out your whole tribe because of that, I mean, that's for a reason, right? I mean, but I want you to know this, right? All the people said that I was just angry, that I was just trying to defend the Buffalo Soldiers. Those people were disingenuous because I put all the stuff, all stuff that you just saw. Go down to my comment section in this live stream and ask the people how many times have I put this out in video form on screenshots. The same thing you just saw. So there is a resistance amongst the natives to acknowledge their past, and I think I know the reason why. And the reason why is because there's this idea that you know, well, I know three reasons why. Number one, there was a treaty with the 5 civilized tribes, and they were supposed to compensate us with land and money. Never did it. 2, they want to be included in reparations conversations, which is, I'm sorry, if you're talking about reparations for slavery, you cannot talk about that when you're the second highest amount of slave owners in the nation's history. All right, and then those people saying, well, I'm native, and I don't think that y'all should get it. Excuse me, you enslaved my people. Shut the fuck up. You don't get talk. No, not when it comes to that one issue. All right, not when you have this much anger that is unresolved and is based on something absolutely fucking legitimate. Like that's where I get the problem is that people have weaponized their native status against us, and they're still doing it now. And it's like if you're not gonna change from 1866, if you're not gonna change since the freaking 1800s, why should I trust you? Why? It's been changed. Which tribe changed? Which one? We've seen how you voted, so you can't change all that damn much.
Those are 2 different tribes that did enact racism, and then you have to add to the fact that those are only 2 out of entire 575 different tribes. And I can assure you that. So which one?
So which one is not racist? I'm just curious. Because you don't seem to know
tribes.
You don't seem to know.
Many tribes, sir.
You don't seem to know it's a running joke in our community about how racist the natives are. It's a running joke. It's been that bad. If in 2005 they're kicking out black members, what the fuck do you think they've been like this entire time?
Well, those are
Bad.
two different tribes, sir.
We're not talking about just two tribes. More than the five civilized tribes have been trying to kick out their freaking black members. You know that.
Yeah.
So it's not just two. But you just said two.
Yeah. I'm just trying to explain that you're generalizing almost all native people
Well,
on
if I'm
America.
generalizing, you should show me one tribe that hasn't tried to kick out their freaking black members. Which one? And
Okay.
mind you, I'm very good at freaking research. And don't
All
say
right then.
Seminole. Who hasn't tried? There's only been when I actually researched right. There's only been less than 100 who have not tried. They all have. They may not
Oh,
have freaking tried. They
hold on,
may not have freaking tried in your freaking lifetime, but they have.
sir. I
Yeah.
have to get going.
All right.
I'm a rancher, so my
Oh,
cattle
I
just
am
got
too,
out.
man. You got cows or pigs or what?
Yeah, cows. They're Gerties. They got out of our fields, so we need to hold them
Yeah,
back
yeah.
up.
I'm actually
All
a
right.
hog farmer, man. So be safe,
All
brother.
right. Thank you.
Be safe.
Bye.
Peace. Bye. Do y'all see that? Again, this is why people don't want you listening to people like myself. Do you see what I just did? Well, you won't have the conversation about the Buffalo Soldiers. I just did. With a native from the Navajo tribe who claimed that, oh, we never had slaves, and I proved them wrong. You did have slaves. Wow. Do you see what I mean by all these people are disingenuous? You see what I mean? You see, well, there were only two tribes. There were more than two tribes of natives who owned slaves. Let's stop it. Come on now. You see what happens? This is why they don't want to have the conversation with me. This is why I just go ahead and block people. Because I know if you actually had the conversation, you wouldn't win unless you get Gallup and just put out a bunch of shit that no one could just fact check. You see what happens when I pause people and just, hold on, you said they never owned slaves? Let me go look it up.